And these are the images that shocked the world just a few weeks ago when over 80 people were shot dead during riots in Kiev. Ukraine's government then insisted that police had nothing to do with the killings, and now those claims have been independently backed up. In a leaked conversation with the EU's foreign policy chief, Estonia's top diplomat says it was the same snipers who targeted both activists and police there.
All the evidence shows that people who were killed by snipers from both sides, among policemen and people from the streets, that they were the same snipers killing people from both sides.
Well,
It's the same handwriting, the same type of bullets, and it's really disturbing that now the new coalition, that they don't want to investigate what exactly happened, so that there is now stronger and stronger understanding that behind snipers, it was not Yanukovych, but it was somebody from the new coalition.
The EU foreign policy chief has refused to comment, but the authenticity of the conversation has been confirmed by Estonia's foreign minister. And even though he can be clearly heard in the recording saying the snipers were hired by someone in Ukraine's new coalition, the diplomat later insisted this does not implicate the current authorities. Nevertheless, the relations could help the public understand the true face of those now in power in Kiev, says international affairs expert Sarah Sepapur-Ulrich.
I sincerely hope that it builds awareness amongst the people. As commentators said, it was mentioned, the EU knew about this. They've sat on this information for a few days until it was leaked. And what actually has inspired, it really does not surprise me one bit. One of the most powerful and universal methods of spreading ideas is visual propaganda, and this is used in politics to mold the opinions of the people. So what happened at Maidan was to convince not only the population of the Europeans, but of Americans that Ukraine needs to be saved from a democratically elected president.
Two of our correspondents have experienced exactly what it feels like to be within range of sniper fire. Bullets shattered the windows of a hotel in downtown Kiev, where an RT crew was staying during a reporting assignment, while blood was being spilled on the streets outside. When the government collapsed, the Berkut special forces that had been tasked with ensuring order were disbanded by the new self-proclaimed authorities. Many of the officers took refuge in Crimea, and that's where Yegor Piskunov caught up with one of their commanders.
At some point, we clearly understood that this was no longer like the peaceful protests of 2004 and 2007. This time, it was all about provocation, not only violent but dirty tactics by the rioters. While we were unarmed, we didn't even have non-lethal weapons. The plan of those who masterminded this was to make the Berkut force crumble, to demoralize us and pressure us to switch sides. But that didn't happen. And then came the worst, the shooting. Rounds are fired at both sides, but as I've already told you, we didn't have any weapons. It was so difficult to understand what was happening, but officers just began falling to the ground one by one, so it became clear people were dying from bullets. But again, no shots could have been fired by Berkut forces. I'm sure there was some outside force, a third party involved in the provocations and the deaths on both sides. It was an organized team of professionals.